Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel for this Monday morning, afternoon or evening across the world where you may be at. And today I'm going to be talking about Emmerdale and the next episode of Emmerdale for the episode and character Lewis Barton. We are now going to be talking about Thursday the 10th of July's episode. So this episode, Lewis is in the cafe talking to Nicola. Nicola is the cafe partial owner who works in the cafe. She's married to Jimmy, and Nicola gives Lewis a 2-hour work trial due to a situation she has to go and handle, and he's like, well, I've got barista experience, I can do it. And she's like, right, you've got a 2-hour trial starting now. So then Jay tries to moan at Nicola about his sandwich, and then Lewis goes to edit his sandwich and fix it. I think Nicola giving Lewis a 2-hour chance is a really good way. Shows that a neurodivergent actor, a neurodivergent person in the everyday world can be given a equal work opportunity to try and prove himself, to show that he's more than capable of working in the real life world, and seeing that he has barista experience and some form of supervisory experience, he seems to really fit in and really seems to be able to handle the chores that have been given to him, the responsibility that's been given to him, the communication lists that have been given to him. I feel like the way she interacts with Lewis gives him a chance to respond to her, and she gently smiles at him. She only gives him one instruction at a time, and then Jay talks to him with real warmth, love and appreciation and support. Nicola and Lewis are talking to each other after his trial, and it's nice to see that Bob comes in, who also has a share in the cafe, and he's encouraging Lewis to not quit doing the job and to try and be successful at it. So Bob is married to Brenda. Brenda is the character who is setting up the cafe to potentially Nicola. Then we find out later that day her share gets sold to Lewis, and Lewis does threaten to go elsewhere when Nicola finds out that the share is going to go into him and that he plans to buy it. And she's like, you can't do that, it's called poor business, bad business. And he's like, well, actually I could set up my own business and go competition. And she's like, oh, I guess working with you won't be so bad. So in other words, she actually lets him work with her. She agrees to cooperate with him and to communicate with him. And then later on that episode, we actually see him have a bit of a autistic sensory overload meltdown, and that's where he puts his headphones on and he takes all these orders from these ladies who come walking in. And he then obviously can't cope with the demand put on him, and all the different ladies' orders, the teas, the coffees, the sandwiches, the scones, the sweets, etc. And he goes into the kitchen and disappears with the headphones on to listen to his music, which is obviously a way to de-soothe himself, desensitize himself. And then when Nicola arrives back to find these ladies are obviously a little bit frustrated, a little bit annoyed that Lewis has disappeared, then they say, oh, we're still waiting for our food and drinks, and she says, oh, I'm sorry, I'll get to it. And then she goes into the kitchen and goes, Lewis, what are you doing, Lewis? And then we see them communicating, and then she actually asks for if he has a spare pair of the headphones in general, and that this again sees that she is adapting to him and making reasonable adjustments, and that she takes the time to find out more about why he needs some headphones on and what happened to cause him to do that. And he explains that he had too much information being given to him, and he just needed a few minutes to calm down and to chill out and to get himself back to working order. And I think that Nicola actually understood that and took the time to actually get to know him and understand his barriers and what he needs help with and what he needs to ask for help with. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little review. Please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.